ready?
We're ready.
Hi. Good morning, Ashley.
How you doing?
A bit better. Yeah.
Oh, Isaac's been under the weather.
Yeah.
Very bad, whatever it was. Flu, COVID, I don't know.
Bacteria, bug, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's here now, so that's all good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Have my
So,
cake ready.
yeah, I got my water. I got my tea, the Brit in me with the tea, you know, with my A. See?
Good.
A for asshole. I mean, for Ashley. So, interesting week. Interesting couple of weeks.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I've been just watching from outside.
Yeah, good trades for me this week. Gold and Great British JPY. You know,
Hmm.
and just for context, I sold everybody. So, so really nice trades. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's kind of freaking out there a little bit, and we've been talking about this stuff for a while, and I'll go back to what I said right from the beginning. Just negotiation tactics, just trying to, but he's a bully, right? Trump. He bullies people, so that's what he's doing. He's using it to get what they want,
Hmm.
and that's how America roll these days. I mean, well, I'm not saying America rolls that way. I mean, I'm just saying that's how he's rolling. But I mean, and it's like I was actually asked this question by my son. Actually, he said, well, or was it tariffs? What do you mean? Like, what does it mean? They said, I understand what it is, but what is it? I said, well, there's different type of tariffs, right? And they go, okay, well, I don't understand that. What is it? I said, well, first of all, let's call it what it is. A tariff is a tax.
Hmm.
It's exactly what it is. And why do governments do it? Well, you can talk about competing with trade and all that kind of stuff, but the fundamental first thing they use it for is to. Well, I don't care what anyone says, but this is what I believe. This is my opinion, guys, and I'm a logical speaker and I'm a logical thinker, and I think if I'm in the government of a country and I have social programs that I need to pay for, that money's got to come from somewhere. And you can only tax your people so much, right? But you can turn around and stick tariffs on things where the companies end up paying, and yeah, the people will end up paying too. But when you turn around and put tariffs on things, you're basically putting a tax, so you get more money. That's a way of raising money. That's it. That's bottom line. Now you could say if your country makes widget A, right, and your infrastructure is that your wages, are pretty good, and you got another country that's out there that has cheaper labor and makes a version of widget A that's not as good as yours, but it's cheaper.
Hmm.
So if you're going to respect the integrity of your country, right, you want to turn around and say, well, you can sell your cheap ass widgets, you can bring them in, but we're sticking a 20% tariff on you. Now, or they could turn around and say, for the first million, just a number, guys, I'm just using an example, the first million, it'll be 10%. But anything over that will be 15%, and anything over 5 million will be 20%. So Canada does that with dairy to the states. They sell milk. So they have a certain quota that if they say under the quota of liters of milk, it's X amount, and if you go over, it's more. Hopefully, that makes sense to you guys. But there's also another way of doing it where they say, okay, we're going to do a flat tax. So, sorry, tariff. So we're going to put 5% or 10%, and then if you go over this, right? Whatever you, sorry, let's reword that. So there's a straight 10% tariff,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then whatever you bring over, there's also a tariff on top of that. So let me explain that. So let's say you're sending 2,000 pounds of potatoes,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the potato price is set, but you're paying a 10% tariff on top of that set price. Let's
Mm.
say it's $1 a pound, so you're paying now 1.20 cents, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they also tariff you 5% on the amount you bring in on top of. You understand that? So the tariff isn't actually 10%. It's actually 10% plus 5%, or maybe 2% because they only bring in a certain amount. Hopefully, you guys understand what I'm saying here. Hopefully, you get it. Does it make sense, Isaac?
Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, so I get. So, what is America trying to do?
what
Right.
is it?
That's the big question. Right. The big question. I am. Look,
You're a conspiracy theorist.
100%. You know that. You know that. You've heard me babble on and talk about shit. I made you laugh. I made you cry. I made you like it's. I am a conspiracy theorist, and I'm thinking. Look, the rich want to get richer. Yes,
Yes. Yes.
right. And Trump said it yesterday. You're going to get rich, really, really rich and richer, while he's on the golf course while the stock
That's
market is crashing.
that's a
Right.
good impression.
Yeah, yeah, it's Trump, right? These old guys are rich boys, right? They're from the big country club. And the fact of the matter is, the market, since he put in tariffs when he first came in,
Yeah.
not this term, last term, right? If you
2018.
remember, he put tariffs and it crashed, right? The S&P crashed. Once it settled, it has been this unmitigated, crazy rise for the last 4 years of the S&P going up. Yes,
You're right.
right? It's
Yes.
been nuts, right? Well, it's overbought. It's overvalued. It has to correct.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying this to you for ages. Nvidia, right? Meta. Now it's going to correct itself. It's going to correct. It can't keep going up. It's just not possible. It's an overvaluation, right? People don't have that kind of money. So it needs to come down, right? And I laid out well, we're going to look at S&P because I marked clearly those spots of where I believe the market is coming. And remember the 50%, guys? Remember the 50%? Just
Yeah.
remember that, right? Because you're going to see, right? And I still believe that he is crashing it because he wants the rich
Another.
people to get richer
Mm-hmm.
because they want to buy low. Exactly. That's it. And he's ruffling feathers and he's doing things to get what he wants from certain people. Do you really believe that America is going to benefit from putting on a tariff to Vietnam of 90%? Really? What's the trade they do with Vietnam? Is it that big? Does that matter? No. Does it matter that he turns around and says to Canada and Mexico, we're going to do 20% across the board on automobiles? How is that going to increase the value of the vehicles? No, he's trying to get them to negotiate. He's trying to get them to talk, get them back to the table and try and get a better deal. That's what I believe. Because when you look at Canada doesn't make cars. I believe Mexico does. But Canada doesn't actually make vehicles, right? Do they?
I don't know. Good question.
I don't know. But there's companies that are here that have manufacturing plants that make a component of a vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
right? That you have that tied up with Mexico, the US, and
Yeah.
Canada all benefiting, going back and forth across borders. How the hell is that going to work out? It's going to be a logistical nightmare,
Yeah.
right? And what's he try? I'm trying to get people to manufacture here. So you want, we just had a company shut down. I can't remember where it was, to be honest. I think it's Ontario. They shut down their factory because they just want to take a step back and say, "Oh, we better be careful here. We got to stop here." Now, let's talk about the Fed, because Jerome Powell came out right after,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Well, we don't know
We don't
what
know.
the administration. Yeah, we don't know what their goal is, right?" And we're not going to lower rates if we're not sure what's happened on.
Yeah.
We don't see the signs. Then look at non-farm payroll. Non-farm payroll came out as a plus.
Mm-hmm. I didn't
Let me
see it.
show it. Would you like me to show it?
Yeah, sure.
Let me see if I can get it here. I like talking
Yeah,
about
but
that.
at the end yesterday, when Powell spoke, I think that also fueled the bearish sentiment, no? Like the sell-off, saying that
I'm not
he's
sure if he. I'm not. I don't know. I mean, maybe you're right. You know, I don't know specifically if he was the one that did that. I mean, I think it's for some reason I can't seem to get my screen share here. The heck is going on? Go live. What are we seeing here?
um, it's loading, it's charging.
Well, let me know if it's the right screen, because I don't seem to be getting the right one here.
Probably not. It's taking. Oh yeah, now I see. I see
Thinking
the
ahead.
screen. Yeah, can you go to Google Chrome?
Is it the right? Yep.
Yeah.
I'm at Google Chrome now. I'm on Forex Factory.
Yep.
Am I good? Okay. See, I ain't no text wizard. Right. So here we see two things I want to show you. Look, unemployment rate is 4.21, so that increased. Okay. I'm going to hammer that drum again. How on earth can we create 228,000 more jobs? We were saying 137, and we got 228, but they increased unemployment rate by 0.1%. How do those numbers add up? And not only that, I'll even point to my country. Look at Canada. Canada said, "Oh, we're forecasting we're going to increase the employment change is going to be 10.4k." They were minus 32.6.
Wow.
Minus. How is your unemployment rate still 6.7?
Yeah, it doesn't
Right?
make much.
You were saying it was 6.7 after having a change of 10.4 thousand jobs. How is it still the same? Like, I'm telling you, manipulation is rampant. I don't care what anybody says. These numbers do not make sense to me.
Yeah, no.
So there's some kind of shenanigans going on here. So here's the issue, right? Here's the unemployment claims, right? You got the unemployment rate, unemployment claims, right? They were saying it was going to be 225, and it was only 219. How it doesn't mesh. For me, it doesn't mesh. And then you have employment change here, 118, 155. Like, okay, what are we seeing here? What is it we're seeing? Manufacturing, okay, 49.5 is at 49, right? I mean, PMI 53 down to 50. Is this showing a tanking of the economy? Not in my mind. I don't see it. And Powell said it. He said the employment is good and the economy is good,
Yeah, he said that.
right?
Yeah.
And when you look at it on that kind of basis, what is the only thing that's going wrong? What is the only thing that's happening? Stocks,
Stock market.
crash, yeah, equities. That's it.
Hey, Ashley.
And yeah,
I need to take a quick 3 minute break.
Oh,
I'm gonna.
you want to pause?
Up to you. You can. I can leave it here, or I can leave it on the screen paused.
Yeah, let's pause it.
Okay,
Let's
cool.
let's have a pause, and we'll come back when you're ready.
Okay, I'll take 3 to 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Hey, Ashley. Hello, hello. Oh, the headphones.
Yeah.
Oh, you're there?
Yeah. I'm here.
Oh, good, good, good. Um, yeah, the 3 minutes will start in a few minutes, so not quite ready yet. Can you hear me? Ashley?
Yeah. Hey.
Hello, I'm back.
All right.
We're back.
We good to go? We're
Yeah,
on? All right. So where was I? What was I talking about?
yeah.
Okay.
We're with Jerome Powell saying the economy was good.
Yeah. So, I mean, central banks look after that kind of stuff, right? So, their monetary policy is going to. So they're at loggerheads with Trump. So, to me, this is a self-inflicted push. However, I still believe, and I say it again, there was always going to be a correction. Now, has it overcorrected? I don't think so. I still had those levels put there, and they're just coming there. It's just coming quicker than I thought it was, if
Hmm.
that makes sense, right? Because these things take time, right? But it happened really fast, right? And should we take a look at some charts and stuff, or is there some more
No, let's
questions on your
let's.
mind that I think we kind of tackled that pretty well, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah. Good
Yeah.
explanation. We can go ahead and look at the charts.
So, well, yeah, let's start with a good old S&P, right? So now here's I believe I did this correctly, that I had marked this level here, right?
Uh, you're sharing the screen?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's why we have you as the tech guy. All right, okay. It's not allowing me to do it. Oh, here we go. No, it keeps saying no. Why does it not allow me to do it?
I don't know.
Should I be on screens? Maybe I should be on screens, not applications. I don't know.
Yeah, try screens.
Yeah, I'm on screens now. Let me press it. Okay, there we go. Hit that.
I think that's good. Just a second.
Oh, I got it on.
Okay, yeah, it's good.
Okay, I don't see the charts though.
Just go to Google Chrome.
Oh, okay. I'm on there now.
Yeah,
You see it?
yeah,
Okay. All right. Good.
yeah.
So if we remember on the monthly, I kind of was expecting that to come back, right? And I marked some levels, and this was my finality level, if you
Hmm.
everybody remember this year. But if you remember, I also did this. I also took it from the low, and I took it up to there. And of course, wouldn't you know, I'm really having problems with this computer too. What the heck's going on? Oh dear, technology. Just great when it works. All right, I had it there. There we go. All right, see if that holds. There we go. We'll get rid of that. Now, interesting enough, look where the 50% is. There's the 50% of this. Well, hold on, let's just get it right here. You know, high to low to high. Um, it's close enough. I don't want to quibble. It's just a little bit off, but the point is that level is very close to the 50%.
Hmm.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
right. And this was where I believed the market was going to. And look at it. I mean, this is a huge drop here,
Hmm.
huge drop. So, and this is the month. Wow, we're only in 5 days of this month. Are you kidding me? Look at this. And it's dropped that much.
Yeah.
So you know there's going to be some kind of, probably pullback. I doubt this is going to go here for a while. So that was where I was looking to go. And, if we look at the weekly, you know, now look at the weekly. What am I expecting from the weekly here? Well, I like to trade swings, right? So do I have a swing here? Oh, let's see. Where's the high? There it is, right there. What are my rules for a swing? A minimum 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. 2 candles to the right. Look at this. One swoop went all the way to hit the D extension. Right?
Yeah.
So this is a swing, right? So what am I expecting to happen now? Right? There's 2 things that I expect to happen after a swing has been formed and completed. There's going to be another swing created, right? So that means we need some kind of pullback.
Mm-hmm.
I expect a pullback of this candle to 50%. I expect a pullback. Well, that's a monthly, so it's a little bit different. We're not at the end of the month yet, but I believe there's going to be a pullback here. So I believe there's going to be at some point, if this is going to be the low, because it took out this low here, so if this is going to be the new low, then when we open up here, we could start moving up. Now, are we going to get a big push up? I don't know. Probably not. It may be very cautious, but we could get a push up a little bit, and then a second week push up, possibly a third week push up. And then it will come back down on the last week, maybe to fulfill that month, or maybe won't fulfill until next month. Who knows? I don't know. This is now we're thinking about the sentiment of the traders, but we also know the sentiment of the traders is going, what the fuck is going on? They're all panicking. They're all nervous. But, it'll just be an opportunity eventually. So that's what we're seeing there, right? So now let's go to the daily.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we get with the daily? There we go again, another D extension. Okay, so we go back to the monthly just to give you a reminder, right? We got 1, 2, 3. We are expecting a 4th candle, but that doesn't happen until next month. So we've had a big push here, right? So we are expecting some kind of little retracement here, right? Well, why are we expecting the retracement here? Because if we go to the weekly, we've hit a D extension, and we got a 50% to be retraced. So that matches, right? And that also matches on the daily that we've hit a D extension.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all looking for this to have some kind of retracement after this big push here. So, we didn't get a 50% here. Is it going to go all the way up there? I don't know. We don't know. But let's draw a trend line here. Right? See that trend line? And if we match up this area here or this B, like we can maximize the B here. We got this 382, or is this no, that's the 236. We got the 236, and the B can create a level. We got this low right here, this close and open. We got this here. There are levels, there are areas of price action where this market can come to.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this area right here, that we can come up to and then start another continuation. Now, if we break above here, we're going to get a lot of excitement. Everyone's saying, oh, the market's back, we're going to go, yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo. And then we're going to get a shock, because I fully believe that this is going to go back down. And here's another area level right here, right? Now, why do I mark this level off? When there's a big push down, well, let's take it to the larger time frame. When there's a big push down, it usually goes back to where it originally started, right? Now, we can determine, is this the original start? No, I think we're looking at probably this level right here because it went up there and it came, boom. So I believe this area here, this 5506.9, is the start of this big, huge drop. So I'm looking at a probability that this could go back to here. Now, I might be wrong, right? But I'm looking at the probabilities of price action on the daily, on the weekly, and I'm looking at the monthly. I still believe that there is going to be another monthly candle come into here. I do. But that's not going to happen until next month. That means we've got 20 odd days of trading left here. This is not coming down. I would be shocked if this came down to here. I would. So to me, the logical is there's going to be a pullback. So I think that will settle some people and get Trump on his high horse. But I think everyone's in for a little bit of a shock because I think this is just a swing being set up that will basically, well, let's not do it that way. So I got this here. So if we look at the synopsis of a swing, right? I mean, maybe it could go down to here. Maybe it could, right? But let's just, sort of say to ourselves that once this is settled and this comes back and it's going to create the monthly swing, so it'll be another candle. So this will be in May, right? And then what would happen, right? Then it's going to pull back, right? It's going to pull back. Could it pull back here? Could it pull back wherever? Could it pull back anywhere under these levels here? And then it's going to come back all the way down and create that swing. And that swing is the correction of this big move there. And then once there is, then it'll start going. And then we'll start recognizing a bottom. It could be this low right here. This low right here could be it. This could be another start of another push-up. So right now, I'm speculating way in the future. But I did say I don't think this high will be violated this year. I think, this was the highest high of all time, right?
Yes.
I believe there has never been, right. And do you know typically what happens in this market when it makes an all-time high?
Oh, what happens? Makes all-time
high. You have a crash correction. Yeah. Well, not necessarily that, but it corrects big time.
Now, can we see the what's the percentage of the of how much are we down right now? What is the percentage?
Oh yeah, well we're just down from the original low to the high, right? That right there, we're just that's 382, so around about 40% of this from here to here. But if you look at dollar cents, we're looking at numbers. So 6156, and we're at what's the low? So 5036. What's that? That's 5036. That's 20%. Oh, what is that? 6100, 6100. So what is that difference? 536. I don't have a calculator with me.
No. When you create the line, the trend line, what do you have another option for info line?
I don't have an info line. No.
No?
Oh, this is the info I got.
Boo.
So just deduct.
Yeah.
Well, here. So what's the number here? So this number 60397. So 615128 is the high, right? So 615. Okay, you want me to do the math? I'll do the math. I didn't know we were doing math class today.
6156.
6156 minus 5. Oh, what is it? Oh, no, I've forgotten now. 5036. Right? So what's that now? Oh my God. 6
1120. So
120, right? Yeah, 1120?
yeah.
Yeah. 1120. So 1120, yeah, it's close. So 6100 and 6100, 12. Yeah, it's just shy of 20%. Just shy. So, 10% of 6156 is 615, right? Add 615 again, and you get you get 1, you get 3, you get 1230, and we're at 1120. So 1230, 1130, we're very close to 20%. Yes, no?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
sounds scary.
yeah, it's not that scary. It's okay. It'll go back again. It always does. It's just the way it is. So, and the tech stocks are the ones that are hurting like crazy. But listen, we talked about this before. It's just creating an opportunity, right? That's all it is.
When do you think? So, do you think after the swing that you were expecting, then we're gonna see another lower low, and then
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where this low is going to be on the monthly because the monthly hasn't ended yet. But however, I'm thinking logically, if I go to the weekly's hit a D extension, right? The daily's hit a D extension. So if it hits a D extension, we have a high probability that this is going to create a swing. However, there are some caveats here, and I want to show you the caveats. This is a normal swing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then it busted. I can't make a new swing here. Why can't I not make a new swing from here? Do you know why?
there's not four
Why
candles.
is this not? Now you got it, right? So if that's the case, then this could still keep going down for another 2 weeks, right? It should do if we're following the swing protocol, right? Let's go to the daily. Right, the daily still has let's see. Let's not speculate. Let's look at it. So if I do this, right, I have a swing here. Do I not?
Yeah, 4 candles. Yeah.
Yeah, more than 4. So on the daily, I have it. So let's look at this. Let's look and say, okay, we've had this big thing. Let's say we get some kind of pull. Let's say for 2 days we get a pullback to this level right here, this 5341, right? And even for the rest of the week, I don't know. Let's say it goes back to here. It's just, well, where would my price action be? Right here, right? Right here to the B, back to the B. This would be a price action level. Right? But this could also be a level too, because we got the, excuse me, everybody. Sorry about that. So we got a close open here, right? But we also got a 50%. So anywhere along this could come back. Again, I'll reiterate. Sometimes when we have big moves like this, the market has a tendency to come and correct it, right? Because this is one of the things the market likes is stability. It'll move. Look at this nice move down here. No craziness, just nice and steady and steady and steady. It found a low, nice, steady, up, move. Everything is groovy. Nice, steady, low thing. Okay, hit there, come back. Oh shit! Poof! This is not normal. Right? So when we have something like this, it needs to be corrected. And you don't see any craziness. Look at this craziness here. See this? Look. Boom. What happened? corrected. Then came back, and then went up, and came back, all nice. Look at this. Aggressive move. Correction. Went up again, more of a correction. Went up again, more of a correction. Right? They don't like moves like this. They don't like it. So the market comes up and settles up. Then finally it settles up to a high. Right? Look. Made a high, came back. Made another high, came back. Struggles up. Made another high. Okay, made another high. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Yeah.
Finally, it says, okay, now we're correcting, right? So based on all this kind of rules that I like to run, right? My feeling is that for the next week, for the daily, is that we're going to get a few days of a pullback. And it could be to the end of the week. It could be the whole week. I don't know. But if I mark this level here, I'll mark the first level. I'm going to mark the 236, right? And I'm going to mark the 382, right? I'm going to mark this one black. I'm going to mark this one blue. And I'll mark this one red, right? So now we know those daily levels are 236, 382, and a close open, right? So now I'm going to go back to the weekly. Look, wow. Look at that. Covers the 50% of the weekly, doesn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I was to take this off and then calculate, you know me and my 50%, right?
Yeah, took some time to understand it, but yeah.
Right. So look where my 50% is. Right where the close open is of the daily. Right above the 382. So could this weekly candle go move up there and take that? Yeah, it could. Could it go further? Yeah, it could. So then this is doing this, but it still needs to come down to form a swing. So how's that going to happen? Well, let's go back to the daily. And if we get this scenario that I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I will have created a swing here, right? From this high to this low, and wherever the market decides to go to, right, will happen, may come to here, it may come to here. We don't know where it's going to, but let's just say, so we got 1 day here, 2 days here, 3 days here. After those 3 days, at some point, it's going to come back and fulfill this swing to here. So if I mark this now and then go back to the weekly, if that D extension fulfills, this is where it's coming. That means another weekly candle will have formed, which means this will have candle number 3. Now, my prediction, I don't know what you want to call it, but I believe that this is not going to happen next week. I believe that next week on the daily, we're going to get some movement up, right? And then it's going to come and possibly take out this low, right? But not fulfill this area here, right? But it will come here, which means if it does that, what does that mean to the weekly? To the weekly, let's say, this is the daily one, right? This is the daily swing right now. So it'll go up a little bit and come down and maybe hits the 2, 3. It'll make another low. And then it'll waffle side and then maybe it'll make another low. So it could be 2-3 weeks because this is forming a swing, if it's going to be a swing. So we need 2 more weeks of lows. So could it be, I believe the level is here where I'm going. So we could do Oh, just did another low here, retrace back, market site, another low here. Now we've got the swing. Once we got the swing, we got 2 weeks at least coming up, and then we're going to get the final down that it will fulfill this level right here. Make sense?
I think so. Yeah, makes sense. So you're mainly
Yeah.
bearish for the next weeks.
Well, yes, I do believe for the next few days, I believe it's going to have a little pullback
Yeah.
for a couple of days. And I think we can see some bearishness maybe on Thursday or Friday. Let's have a look at the calendar here to see what news we have for next week.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we have FOMC, we have core CPI. So we have some things that can move the market. So
FOMC
yeah, it's a
made it-
possibility.
This one, it's again Jerome Powell speaking.
Well, he's part of it, right? So, it's just there's a whole bunch of them, but we'll see what they say. I don't really expect anything. I think it's going to be still the same. Well, we don't know what the policies are. We don't know what it means. We're looking at the data. He's been very clear. He says, this is what's happening. So we don't want to. And Trump was right too. He says Powell's always late. Powell is always late. He's always been late to the party.
Yeah.
But, geez, excuse me, sorry guys. The fact of the matter is, Powell waits for the data to show him. He doesn't act on panic. To me, to be honest with you, I'd rather have that than the other way. Because his job is to, if he's controlling how the currencies are, how the financial world is, right? He has to look at what things affect it, what is going on. He needs to look at the data. He needs to look at the macroeconomic. Macro right now, right, is tariffs.
Yes.
That's what's shifting the market, but it's only shifting the equities. And let me show this. I'll show it. I'm going to get away from the S&P, and I'm going to go to the Euro USD. Actually, before I do that, what do you expect? Oh, shit, too late. Right? So, are you surprised on seeing dollar strength here? Look, dollar strength up. Look.
Is this
Right?
This?
This is the Euro US dollar,
Okay.
a weekly chart. Euro US dollar. Right? So, watch what happens. Look, just let me show you. Right? You do know this is US weakness, right?
Yeah.
Going up here, right? This is the strength for the euro. But you see this pullback? So what is this pullback? What is it? Is it profit taking?
What is it?
I don't know. Wow, your guess is as good as mine. But let's look at what happened here, right? This is the low. This is on a daily, right? So this is what happened, right? So here we are here.
Yep.
So we have a 127 hit, but we do not have a 382 hit on the Fibonacci sequence. Now, many of you don't know this is one of my other go-to strategies, right? The 382 has an 80+% chance to hit before the D extension. The D extension is here. So this strategy to the 127, back down to the 382, then back up to the target. So now where are we right now? Now the other thing that I say, big move up
Correction.
constitutes a retracement, all right? And it did correct. Where did it correct to? Past the 50%, but right at that B. It's sitting right at the B right now. So what should we expect? Well, we're underneath the B. It closed underneath it, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to get a new candle here open.
Mm-hmm.
So is it going to go up and fulfill the 50% and then keep coming back down? I don't know. We'll see. But we could have some U.S. strength of it. Does U.S. strength fit into the narrative of what I've been talking about?
Mm,
Let's go to the U.S. dollar because you are uncertain.
yeah.
This is why I like to do the U.S. dollar first. But
I don't think
clear
they.
screen.
Mhm.
You didn't think what?
I don't think we'll have U.S. strength.
Well, okay. I'm just going to show this,
Yeah.
right? What's it chasing? 382,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's going up a little higher. It needs to correct these levels here, this level here, this 382. We had a big push down here. Look at this big push down here.
Yeah.
And it hit the 127. But it needs to correct it. It's has it overcorrected? No, it's going to hit this 382,
Mm-hmm.
right? And look at this. What happens when it breaks the trend line?
Mm,
So either going to create another trend line or go to the outer trend line.
mm-hmm.
So we know that there's a high probability it's going to fulfill this 382 and find somewhere to sell to make a high to come back and come back down again, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're looking at. But let's look at the larger scale. Let's look at the monthly. Monthly just started. What happened to the monthly? Well, that's not exactly exciting, is it?
Mm,
We had a push down, came back up, right? We need 50% fulfilled here on this candle. Didn't fulfill, right? Let's have a look at the weekly, right? What do we got here, right? Well, first of all, we got a low to a high. Do we not? We have a swing scenario here. But look at the larger picture, right? Look at the larger picture. We got this here,
yeah.
and we got this low from here. Look at this. Poked up, it's underneath, right? But could we say this is a swing from here to here?
Mm-hmm.
Or could we say this is a swing from here to here? Well, let's do the first part because this was the first part, right? So this started first. So what do we have from this swing? Oh, look at that. We have this 382, we're down to the 618, we got a big rejection. This is the right way up because this is where we're going. Doesn't match the high, so it's doable,
Mm-hmm.
right? And where are we right now? This is a pin bar. This is a pin bar being created,
Mm-hmm.
right? 50% retracement, right? Now, look at it from the down point of view. Oh, we don't have a swing. That means this could be a swing being developed,
Mm-hmm.
right? That could go up here a couple more weeks and then come back down, depending how far it goes up. If it takes out of the B, right, or it goes to the blue, it's coming back to the blue. Still within this range here. It's going to be very difficult to bust out of this range because it's been there for a long time, since 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been there a long time. This was May. So 3 years it has not come down here. So, and the same thing here, when was it last up here, right? So it was here 2023, and then it busted out. It busted out January, but it came back down. So is this now a continuation to the upside because this broke out? That's U.S. strength. So this is a cautionary tale for everybody. It's like, oh, be careful, right? Be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a pin bar, which means we could get some kind of retracement and it could keep going up. And we usually like to match the pin bar, right? So that's quite a size, right? So I'm expecting this to be moving up. So that's U.S. strength.
Mm-hmm.
And that now that U.S. strength, does that fit the narrative of what I talked about with the euro?
um, the euro looks to me like it's more U.S. weakness, no? So I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, no, we did say that we expect it to come and hit this 382 because it's underneath the B. It's underneath the low right now. Underneath the high, sorry. It's underneath the high. So if you're underneath the high, the expectation, it closed underneath the high. So the expectation is that we have an expectation that 85% of the time, this is the target of this swing, right up to here, right? That is the target. But we expect a 382 to be hit 80 to 85% of the time before this is hit. That's what we expect. We got this big push up, we got a big push down below the B. Now we're expecting this to open, push up to 50%. Now, if it stays below 50% and pushes back down again, it's coming back down to here, which this is U.S. strength. So that matches that narrative on the U.S. dollar to the Euro USD. Does that make sense?
I think so. I think it makes sense. Sorry.
Everything for me is a plan. Everything for me is a rule. This is how I trade. You want to see gold?
Yeah, let's take a look.
This was my gold trade. What a beautiful trade, right? Right? What do we have here? Double top. Right? Stop loss above the high. I'm going here. Now you'd say, "Oh, that's pretty dangerous." Well, look, I didn't get a retracement much here. There's still going to the downside.
Yeah.
I got a couple of levels I have to be wary of. I have to be careful, but I do believe it's going here to this trend line here because we've got this nice trend line right here, right? Got a lot of good, actually, a very good, lots of good levels here. I like this, very, very good. Now, could this retrace up 50% of this candle? Yes, it could. So how do I manage this, right? Because I'm saying it's coming to here, right? But what if we require a retracement here? I do believe we have so much momentum to the downside on gold, right? And why I have to be careful of is this, is if this goes down, does this signify, what does this signify? Does it signify U.S. weakness or U.S. strength?
If it goes down,
Yeah.
I believe weakness.
Weakness, eh?
Yeah, that's my guess.
Why would you say that?
Because why would I say that? I don't know. Gold is less value. Gold is less U.S. dollars. So it's U.S. weakness to me. No, but then I think.
So let's look at this cup, right? Can you see my cup?
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So this is, let's pretend this is gold. This is a cup, right? So if I had, if I was up here, right, this here, I would have to pay $3,057.25 for this cup, right? But now I'm down here. Now I only have to pay $3,022.20. So does that mean the US dollar has got more buying power or less?
Right, then it means it has more buying power.
Right. So does it mean it's stronger or weak?
Then
It's a bit of a trick.
Yeah,
Bit of a trick question.
Strong.
Yeah. It's a bit of a trick question, right? It's a bit of a it's really kind of funny when you look at things like this and say, well, do I have U.S. strength here? So if I had this massive U.S. strength here on gold, why am I not getting it elsewhere? right? I wasn't getting into the Great British Pound USD or the Euro. Well, actually, was I? Let's have a look at the Great British Pound USD, right? It's okay. Yeah, Euro USD. Like this was weakness. Then this now, could all this be right? You can look at the 4 hour here. This look, you can see where this broke out, right? So how many days was that? Let's have a look. There's the daily chart. So this was yesterday. This was Thursday. This was Wednesday. So it broke out Wednesday. So for Wednesday and Thursday, we had a move up.
Mm-hmm.
Is this profit taking? Maybe
Mm,
people taking profits, right? On Friday, right? Non-farm payroll came out.
mm-hmm.
That's strength for the USD because they had more jobs and people taking profit, right? So it seems kind of normal. And if we look at price action scenarios, look where it kind of stalled, right on that high right there, right? Maybe it went down a little further, right? What about this high? So it's still there. So it's underneath it, so it could still keep going. We don't know,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm just trying to show you the different aspects of like we did have U.S. strength here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so when we go back to gold, right? Look where the U.S. strength started, right? It was here, it was going up, it came back down, then we had this massive spike up here, but this level here of this highs, right? A high was already formed here, and it formed another high and started crunching down here. And it's like, oh my God, look at that, right? And some would say, well, you got lucky. No, I didn't get lucky. I'm still trading the swing. I mean, this is such a good level that it held like I assumed it would. I also had a good stop loss, I believe, above these highs here, right? So, it was a good trade, very minimum risk, right? And as soon as this went past these highs here, yeah, well, we're off to the races, right? And this is 2 4 hour candles,
Mm-hmm.
right? 8 hours of US strength, which coincides with the fact that we had good news from non-farm payroll,
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
right? And matched all the other scenarios. And if we go, did we do the US dollar? We did, didn't we? No, we didn't.
Which one?
Did we do the US dollar? Here's the
Yeah.
US dollar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this US dollar on a 4 hour. It missed the D extension,
Mm-hmm.
missed the October 24th, and went straight up. This is good strength, right? But look where it's hit now. It's hit this trend line, right? We got a
Mm-hmm.
trend line here
Yeah.
because we got rejection and we're underneath these highs. So could this now come back and fulfill this D extension and this 50%?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking for. So, yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, missed. This tells me like you're above this level here. Well, we didn't hit the 50%, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it carried on going up. Why? Because it's coming here to fulfill this 382.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's what we're looking at. So, okay, we're running out of time. Let me talk about the mindset again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And emphasizing the planning and the preparation. Whatever is happening in the market, whatever is going on in the market, if you have a plan in place and you prepare the right way, you're not going to get hurt. You can go back and see a lot of our other podcasts and me talk about right from the beginning. I don't know which number that was, but when NVIDIA, or no, Meta, I think it was Meta,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll tell the story. Isaac came to me and said, look at, was it Meta? It was Meta, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Meta had a big spike up, and he was all excited. He said, look at Meta, it's going crazy. I said, Oh yeah. I said, it's coming down. He goes, oh no, I think it's going to go up because Mark Zuckerberg said this. I said, oh, he's pumping up the stock. I said, yeah, oh, that's a classic pump and dump. It's coming down, but let's look at it properly.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and looked at it, and I marked the levels, and I said, this is coming down. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. And okay, a little ego chest pumping,
Mm-hmm.
right? It went my way.
Mm-hmm.
It's all because of my rules.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because I'm such a super smart guy. It's I have these rules. I have this 50%. I have these close and opens. I have this Fibonacci 382s,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if you stick with what you have and what you know, right, and create those levels of price action or patterns or whatever it is you do, you just stick with it. And you have look at gold. Look at this gold trade, right? It's immense. It really is. And the big thing is the stop loss. The risk to reward is incredible,
Mm-hmm.
right? Look at this risk to the reward. It's nuts, right? I'm going to tell you what I expect here. Do you want me to tell you? I expect it to come here. I expect it to go back up to this black level, and I expect it to come back down again further.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm expecting. So this could be some exciting times with trading gold. But all I've done is mark my levels, price action levels, and all I've done is mark my 50%. So I've marked my levels, and I'm just trading towards it. I have a plan, and I prepared, and I'm executing the plan. I don't care what happens. What's my plan with this candle right here? I'm expecting it to retrace to 50%,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what I'm expecting. I have my rules to make sure that if I want to trade it, I want to go. All I'm going to tell you this, if I'm above this level closed, I'm getting out of the trade and waiting for it to go up and then come back down. So what am I trying to say to you guys is this. I said, the market can be, I don't want to use the word beaten. You can get money out of this market. Respect the structure of the market. Put those rules in place and follow them. And if you want to understand if my 50% method works, just take these candles right from here and check all the candles to see if you get each one close at 50%. Take any chart and do it. Check it. Yes, you will find one like this in the pile that hasn't been fulfilled. It was close, right? And you will find another one. But the majority of them are fulfilled, and they will get fulfilled. And how many do we have here? A whole bunch of them, right? So maybe you have 60 candles here, and you can find maybe 5 that haven't been fulfilled. I'll take those odds any day. And that's what you've got to do, guys. Look, it's fun to talk about the tariffs. It's fun to talk about Trump. It's exciting. It's crazy. But you know what? All you have to do is just follow the rules, and you get trades like I got right here, right? My Great British Pound trade, boom, right here to this low right here, no further, right? Nice 200 pips, beautiful. And it was just a straight, oh, where am I? Well, I built some structure. My structure was right here, right? And I said to myself, oh, you know, I could end up going back down to this level here, but I have to realize that there's a whole mess here. I don't think I want to go that further. I just want to go to this low, right? This first low right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why am I trading this? This high right here did not take out that high. So what did I do? I'll show you what I did. I did this. Boom. This is where I'm going. This is my stop loss. My stop loss was here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I traded down to here. I moved my stop losses down. I moved it to here. So cut down my risk. and I made about $2,000 right here. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with this trade. This is what you can do. Simple trades. Look at this here. You could have this coming up here, right? You could trade this down towards this level right here, right? And look what it did. It did it, right? So when you're down here, you trade it back up. This particular time, it didn't hit it up. It actually came back down. So this could be having selling pressure here, right? So we know JPY is getting stronger against the Great British Pound. So that's something to look for. What am I expecting here? A retracement to here. Will I get it? Will I get it back to here? We'll see. And then maybe we get further JPY strength. So again, I'm telling you guys, risk to reward, controlled risk is the best. Because if you can spot something and you can have a belief and you put things in the right place and you say to yourself, this is good odds, and you have low risk and good reward, place the trade and monitor the trade and, make notes about the trade, learn from the trade, win or lose, right? And you will develop a strong mindset of doesn't matter what anybody tells you, doesn't matter when you see the stock market crashing and you see this craziness going on, you still feel strong will to say, you know what, I can still enter the market. I can still put myself there. Or you can turn and say, yeah, I'm just sitting on the sidelines, which we've, Isaac and I talked about it. Yeah, I'm not in the market as much. And then I said, yeah, I made a trade today. I'm in here. And because Isaac is a very big stock trader, he's definitely on the sidelines. But I'm more of a currency trader, a gold trader, oil trade. I wanted to trade oil, but I didn't have the opportunity to do it. So that's another one I wanted to do as well. But yeah, it's about really understanding how the market likes to move. And if you can use that method of the swing that I use, it will serve you very well. And you could probably say, well, there's no swings here, right? No, we have a range of swings, right? And it's not about fulfilling their eventual, like, because we get, a low to a high, this one fulfilled, right? Low to a high here, this filled, right? But did this one fill? No, it didn't, because it's stuck in a range right now. So we just trade the range. Trade what you see, not what you think. Make sense?
Makes sense.
All
Well,
right. On that note,
thank you for the
no,
time.
no questions before I go. No questions before we wrap up, or
I don't have questions. You have questions?
oh, I don't have a question. I just asked my
Yeah.
question. My question was, do you have any questions?
I'm good.
So, all right. Well, that's great, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week, and trade safe out there, guys. But for next week, and send us some questions.
Oh, he's cutting out. You hear me, Ashley? I think we lost him.
Pressure by 15.
Oh no, we lost Ashley. He's gone. Alright, I'm gonna play the music outro. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks, Ashley. And see you next week.